I brought something today for show and tell. This is one of my favorite books. It's called Old Turtle. And so I'm going to read to you today this entire book. It's a children's book, so it won't take long. Stay with me, it's Spirit and Truth. Once long ago, yet somehow so very long, when all the animals and rocks and waters and wind and trees and birds and fish, all the beings of the world could speak and understand one another, there began an argument. It began softly at first, quiet as the first breeze that whispered, "He is a wind who is never still." Quiet as the stone answered, "He is a great rock that never moves." Gentle as the mountain that rumbled, God is a snowy peak above the clouds. And the fish in the ocean, look at the fish in the ocean, Spirit and Truth, can you see that? And the fish in the ocean answered, "God is a swimmer in the dark blue depths of the sea." "No," said the star, "God is a twinkling and shining far away." "Oh no," replied the ant, "God is a sound and a smell who is very, very close to us." "God," said the antelope, "is a runner, swift and free, who loves to leap and race with the wind." "She is a great tree," murmured the willow, "a part of the world always growing and giving." "You are wrong," argued the island. "God is separate and apart." "God is like the shining star, far above all things," said the blue sky. "No, he is a river who flows through the very heart of things," thundered the waterfall. "She is a hunter," roared the lion. "God is gentle," chirped the robin. "He is powerful," growled the bear. And the argument grew louder and louder and louder until, stop, boys and girls. A new voice spoke. It rumbled loudly like thunder, and it whispered softly like butterfly sneezes. The voice seemed to come from, it seemed to come from Old Turtle. Can everybody see Old Turtle? Yeah. Now, Old Turtle hardly said anything, and certainly never argued about things like God. But now, Old Turtle began to speak. "God is indeed deep," she said to the fish in the sea. "And much higher than high," she told the mountains. "He is swift and free as the wind, and still and solid as a great rock," she said to the breezes and stones. "She is the life of the world," Turtle said to the willow. "Always close by, yet the farthest twinkling light," she told the ant and the star. "God is gentle and powerful, above all things and within all things. God is all that we dream of, all we seek," said Old Turtle, "all that we come from and all that we can find." And I underlined this at the bottom, God is. That sounds like what God said to Moses, doesn't it, boys and girls? I am that I am. Old Turtle had never said so much before. All the beings of the world were surprised and became very quiet. But Old Turtle had one more thing to say. "There will soon be a new family of beings in the world," she said, "and they will be strange and wonderful. They will be reminders of all that God is. They will come in many shapes and colors, with different faces and different ways of speaking. Their thoughts will soar to the stars, but their feet will walk the earth. They will possess many powers. They will be strong, yet tender, a message of love from God to the earth, and a prayer from the earth back to God." And the people came. That's you and me. See all the people right there? I see your auntie. Yeah. I see your cousin. I see your play cousin. I see Pojo and Nuck Nuck. Smoke Dog, amen. I see a few Boricuas in there. I see a little bit of everybody. I see some young people. I see some old, ashy people. Amen. Look at all the people. But the people forgot. Listen, they forgot that they were a message of love. Ooh, and a prayer from the earth. And they began to argue about who knew God and who did not, and where God was and where God was not, and whether God was or was not. And often the people misused their power and hurt one another and killed one another. They also hurt the earth until finally even the forest began to die. Look at the sad picture. See the fish dying and the trees dying, and the rivers and the oceans and the plants and the animals and the earth itself, because the people could not remember who they were or where God was. Until one day there came a voice, like the growling of thunder, but as soft as butterfly sneezes. Please stop. The voice seemed to come from the mountain who rumbled. Sometimes I see God swimming in the dark depths of the sea. Now the mountain is seeing God other than just as a mountain. Anybody feel that? I can see God in the blue sea as well. Yeah. And from the ocean whose side, he is often among the snow-capped peaks reflecting the sun. Now the ocean is willing to see God somewhere other than the ocean. Look what's happening here. From the stone who said, I sometimes feel her breath as she blows by. Ooh, the stone is now seeing God in the wind. And from the breeze who whispered, I feel his presence still as I dance among the rocks. And the star said, God is very close. And the island said, his love touches everything. Remember, the island said God was separate and different and separated from everyone. Ooh, somebody's waking up. And after a long, lonesome, and scary time, the people listened and began to hear and to see God in one another. That sounds like Spirit and Truth Sanctuary. We're starting to see God in each other and in the beauty of all the earth. And old turtle smiled, and so did God. The end. Amen.